Hello, and welcome to Masks for Aid Ignite. We are thrilled to celebrate our 8th rendition of this amazing event. Thank you for being with us tonight. We have joined together for so many years to celebrate the healing, hope, strength, and ultimately art and beauty in the survivorship of the 3,600 patients HNC Living Foundation has served since our inception. You have helped us transform radiation masks into beautiful works of art. You have supported and celebrated these patients and their cancer journeys. With your financial support, HNC Living Foundation has been a source of light and help to those who desperately need it. Tonight, we are sharing a different look at Masks for Aid, a different perspective on the transformation of the dreaded but life-saving radiation mask required for so many head and neck cancer patients. You can still expect to see beautiful artwork and to hear directly from patients that your contributions have supported, but it's not the same story. The past 2 years have created so many additional hardships for head and neck cancer patients. Delays in treatment and cancellations of procedures was just the beginning. As gas prices continue to rise, transportation to and from appointments becomes even more difficult. These are just a few of the challenges that go beyond fighting cancer. There has been a noticeable change in our patients. A weariness has set in. Rather than leaving their last radiation treatment emboldened by the accomplishment of finishing radiation, some patients are choosing to forget the experience the best they can. They've left behind their life-saving radiation mask in hopes of leaving behind the painful memories of radiation. HNC Living Foundation exists to ignite hope in the patients we serve. HNC Living illuminates new paths to survivorship, provides comfort that encourages resilience, and makes the life-saving connections that help families struggling to beat cancer get back to living life fully. Tonight, you will see the inside work of HNC Living Foundation and hear the voices of those we serve, those who are growing weary from the difficult choices they face daily, but who have found light and comfort in the support of HNC Living Foundation. And now, I am pleased to present, with the support of all of our sponsors, but especially our premier sponsor, the University of Kansas Health System, Masks for Aid Ignite.
Hi, I had my first throat cancer in 2005. I had another cancer in 2016. Without HNC, I would be sucking food out of a tube.
Yes, my name is Larry Kerrigan. If you get this, you might leave me a message or something that you got my message. Sorry it took a while to get back to you, but I'm having a hard time talking.
My name is Maury Sutter. At that point in time, I did not have dental insurance. They set me up and handled my total expense for this, which I'm really grateful.
Thank you for calling HNC Living Foundation. This is Melinda. May I help you? My life has come full circle since being featured last year on Masks for Aid. Now that I work for HNC Living and I'm able to help those people who were me just not so long ago, it has given such meaning to the work that I'm doing. It's not just answering a phone. Support is everything, and that's what HNC Living brings to them. It's not just the financial help. It's just having someone to talk to.
For people with head and neck cancer, the challenges can seem never-ending. So often cancer is just one of the challenges, compounded by the fact that head and neck cancer often impacts a person's ability to talk, to eat, and even to swallow. Treatment usually is complicated and requires many different medical and dental procedures over an extended period of time. At HNC Living Foundation, we know the burden of these cancers and the long and complicated journey it takes to get back to living again. Melinda works directly with patients throughout their journeys and also knows the relief she felt when she too found HNC Living Foundation. Lori is just one of the thousands of patients we hear from in their darkest moments. A grim diagnosis, a grueling plan to prepare for surgeries, radiation, chemotherapies. Oftentimes, this path to wellness is clouded by uncertainties.
My name is Lori Sadar. I was referred to HNC for some assistance.
Lori, thank you so much for taking the time to come and meet with us today, and where we can hear a little bit more about your cancer journey. Why don't we just start today by you telling us about your cancer diagnosis and what you've been going through with your head and neck cancer diagnosis.
Sure. Basically, about a year ago, I started having sore throat. I noticed it was on one side, which had me go into the doctor because it was alarming. And I actually received my diagnosis in June. Since then, I've gone through treatment, both radiation and chemo, ended in September. Have had a few complications since then with some radiation damage. It started hitting me pretty hard. Nauseousness, tiredness, and you couldn't function normally anymore. The physical changes in your body, you didn't want to eat, you get depressed, you get, a feeding tube. I went ahead and opted to get the feeding tube installed because I was advised that most likely I would lose that ability to swallow, and my nutrition was going to be at risk, and get the radiation mask built, which was sort of scary, and knowing that I was going to be pinned to a table every day to go through this radiation.
Could you tell us just a little bit about that experience of head and neck cancer, from diagnosis through the different treatments and things that you've had to endure?
Well, the very first obstacle I had to overcome was having my teeth removed. I had no dental insurance, and I had no means to get the funds myself. And so I finally had to reach out for some help, and fortunately HNC was there to help me.
Lori, we're so grateful that you are cancer-free. And we are so grateful that we could be a part of your journey and to help you along the way. But we know that head and neck cancer, even when you are cancer-free, the appointments, the specialists, the bills, the things that you need help with, they continue. So could you tell us a little about what's going on right now in your life? What's ahead for you in terms of treatment and recovery?
The unknown is ahead, truthfully. For right now, what I'm aware of, I have just been able to start swallowing again, so I can eat some food. The bills are astronomical. I have no idea how much this has cost. I was sort of keeping track at one point. I gave that up.
You chose to throw your radiation mask in the garbage.
Yes,
but
I did.
As part of our event this year, Masks for Aid, we are still commissioning an artist to transform a mask on behalf of people who actually share a story like you. Mm-hmm. This year we found so many survivors and patients that we are helping through their cancer journey who have shared that same sentiment, that I don't want to see it again. I want to throw it in the garbage. One person said, I want to set it on fire.
Oh yeah, you can envision that. Mm-hmm.
You can understand that.
You think of the worst things you can do. What
Right.
can I do to it?
So
Right.
this year, for our Masks for Aid ceremony and our annual fundraiser, we are transforming a mask into a beautiful piece of artwork, and we have commissioned Suze Ford to do that, and in honor and tribute of all of the cancer survivors who have chosen not to keep their mask and who have chosen to throw it in the garbage or to burn it on fire, but that in symbolism we are still transforming a mask into a beautiful piece of art to represent you and your journey.
That's a very honorable thing to do, because the mask does represent
The worst time of your life.
the worst time of your life, the fear, the unknown, you do actually feel trapped, because you are trapped. Yeah, your body, your whole life changes.
It really does.
How you perceive yourself changes, It changes your power,
your core.
your purpose in life, everything.
It does.
HNC Living Foundation is here for you. We're going to continue to partner with you and make sure that you don't just get through cancer, but that you get back to living your life fully again.
I appreciate that. I really am very grateful for the assistance.
And it's not just words. I'm proof. They mean it.
It's unreal.
I did that.
Yeah. Thank you guys for being here, coming to my studio. It's a huge honor to have you here. And this is where I work.
This is fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. We're surrounded by oil paintings right now, which is the foundation of where my work all started many, many years ago. So I'm excited to hear more from you guys and this journey that you've been on. And I'm honored to be a part of it. And so I'd love for you to just tell me more, because the more that you tell me, the more inspiration I have and the more authentic the work that I create can be to really inspire others. I'm hoping to give people hope and light in this journey that unfortunately so many people find themselves on. And so, so please just tell me more. I want to hear.
How I even knew anything was wrong is I had a sore tooth. I got into the dentist. They sent me to another dentist. They did a procedure. Then I was on round and round of antibiotics, and nothing was working, and it was getting worse and worse. And so it was a process of about 4 to 5 months before I actually had the diagnosis. And when you sit across the table from your doctor and he says you have cancer, it is heart-stopping. You instantly go from this was my life and now this is my life, and what's my life going to be like after this? So the radiation process and what this is all about, when I went in to get my mask fitted, I had no idea.
Right.
They will put you on a table, and then they took something that looked like a big piece of screen that would be on your window, and I didn't realize it was soaking wet, and then they just put it on your head as fast as possible, and they mold it to your face as tight as they possibly can. And then it's the most awful thing in the world. There's screws or something
to bolt you to the table.
They bolt you down.
That's what I noticed.
But right then, at that moment, you start to cry. It's almost uncontrollable because it's all those things at once. There's the fear, there's you're claustrophobic, but the funny thing about it is that you have to do it.
Right.
You know it's going to help save your life. So if you cry, if you get sick or something like that, and they let you get up, you have to start all over again. So how I got through mine was a lot of prayer, and I kind of envisioned angels wrapping me in their wings. Aww. And it makes me cry. And just get me through it.
Fast.
But every day.
Every day you cried, every day.
Yeah. And, but every day that I did it, I got up and I got dressed and I put makeup on. Yeah. I fixed my hair and I wore really red lipstick because I was going to war.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I was going to win.
Yeah.
So that became.
We were together. She was fighting. I was fighting for her, and it was pretty dark a lot of times. But we would get there, and I think it was probably like the 3rd or 4th week, and she sitting in the chair before her session comes, and And Teresa said, she's starting to feel run down. And we're looking at everybody else, and she says, well, we have to do something about this. We have to do something.
We have to help these people.
Which is amazing in your suffering that you're thinking about everyone else in the room more than yourself.
Well, if there's any way, any place out there that we could alleviate some of their suffering.
There's a big population. I think it's about 60,000 new cases a year of head and neck cancer. And we want to take care of today's patient. And so that's when we started the words live life fully. Kept kind of coming around into our brains. And
how to get out of the tunnel
and it was you that looked at the mask and said, okay, let's use the mask.
And that's where the Mask for Aid idea came from.
Right. And so that was your way of taking your pain and turning it into a purpose.
Turn it into something beautiful, like we're sitting around right now.
We're so super excited that you are coming on board with us and that we'll be able to present to the University of Kansas Health Systems a beautiful piece of art that you have created specifically for them. And I believe from you it'll show that through this journey and how terrifying the mask actually can be, but it can also transform into a beautiful piece of art. And
inspirational.
Very inspirational.
It's like
gives
you said,
a hope.
Like you said, they've been through a terrible journey. That part's over. Now we're going to get back to living life fully.
I started off with these pieces being monochromatic, the masks themselves, so I spray painted them, and I just didn't, it wasn't doing it for me. And I really liked in the test piece how I had multiple colors on the mask. This mask in particular, I'm gonna put in the middle somewhere, and I think they're gonna be lined up. And this one right here, I like her in the middle and then the two like bigger masks on the side. And I really wanted to do 3 because I wanted this to feel like, keep portraying that feeling that you're not alone. And Teresa's story like really rings in my mind about, first of all, like the emotional experience of going in every day and, and crying, actually physically crying. And so I wanted this to speak to the fact that these people, I feel for the people and what they're going through, these patients with this devastating, diagnosis. And then them going through this fear of the process of, it almost sounds like torturous. And so I really want to portray the idea of hope through this process.
Well, thank you all for being here today. We are so grateful to have a partnership with KU Health System and to be our premier sponsor for our Mask for Aid event. We have commissioned this wonderful piece of art to represent all of the survivors who on their cancer journey and their path to survivorship. So we thank you for being here. We thank you for your partnership. And we'd like to hear a little bit from Suze Ford, the artist who has made this beautiful piece of work, to tell you a little bit about what it represents.
Well, for me, it's just embodying just the treatment alone and the entire journey that a patient goes on to survive through this diagnosis. And so I just really wanted to bring hope to these people that are here. They come every day, and to provide something that adds color and light and maybe make the mask feel not so daunting, and maybe see that they are healing and these amazing doctors are here every step of the way for them.
I just want to say how proud I am on behalf of the KU Health System and KU Cancer Center to receive this gift from the HNC Living, especially in our new Proton Center that's just about to open. I think if this art represents hope, our Proton Center and the new technology and how we'll be able to treat patients more accurately, more cure rate, less side effects, also I think represents hope. So I think the symbolism of this piece and what it means and the symbolism of our Proton Center, I think really go very well together. So we're very happy and very proud to receive this piece from HNC Living.
There you go, it's beautiful.
I'd just like to express my gratitude for the partnership we have with HNC Living Foundation, and we are just so excited to have this piece of art in our new proton therapy facility.
When patients are connected to HNC Living, it is often their first glimmer of hope. Hope that someone is there to help, that the cost of treatment might not be out of reach, that maybe they can afford to beat cancer, maybe they can swallow again, eat again, and hopefully even afford those dentures, maybe even the ability to return to work and a sense of normalcy. The gifts you give ignite hope, strength, and light for those experiencing the darkness of a cancer diagnosis. We are so grateful to all of those who have given through Mass for Aid and for those who give to HNC Living Foundation throughout the year. In 2021, the average patient that we helped received over $1,000. $1,000 provides access and covers the cost of immediate dental services often required before radiation treatment can even begin. But every gift can make an impact. $500 can cover the cost of the nutritional supplements needed throughout radiation treatment, providing the much needed nutrients for patients who cannot eat or chew or even swallow. $250 covers the copays for 4 visits to see specialists, like those Lori needed to see to combat the effects of her radiation treatment. $100 typically covers a week's worth of gas and transportation. Our patients are often traveling extensively to different appointments throughout their treatment schedule. We ask that those watching and our generous supporters and friends give and continue to give to fulfill the needs of thousands of vulnerable head and neck cancer patients. Each and every gift matters. You can give anytime by texting HNC to 44321 or make a gift at hncliving.org. We also commissioned Suze to create an accompanying oil painting to support the work of HNC Living Foundation. We will be taking bids on this beautiful piece as we continue our fundraising efforts.
I don't have enough time to tell you what a blessing HNC has been in my life.
HNC Living supported me, which helped me immensely. And without their support, I probably wouldn't have been able to get all the treatments that I needed.
Thank you so much for tuning in and for your support of HNC Living Foundation. We plan to join together again next year in person to witness another amazing transformation. Thank you to our community partners in hospitals and social workers, and especially Delta Dental, for their national partnership in support of our patients. Thank you to each and every one of you who have joined us, our generous partners like the University of Kansas Health System, the Walsh Family Foundation, and all of our sponsors and individual donors tonight. If you haven't made a gift, there's still time. All proceeds from Mass for Aid go directly to helping patients. I hope that tonight we ignited your passion and continued commitment in helping head and neck cancer patients with the resources they need to get through treatment and to get back to living life fully. On behalf of everyone at HNC Living Foundation and the patients that we serve, thank you for watching.